Hello there, vinyl community. How are you? I'm Gary, and this is Physical Format Rock and Roll. Thank you so much for tuning in. Um, this is a concert review. The concert that I just saw is Larkin Poe. I know a lot of you maybe are not familiar with Larkin Poe, although I do know there's a large majority of people out there that are familiar with Larkin Poe. It is Rebecca and Megan Lavelle. They're sisters. They're a blues rock band. They've been around for a while now. They've been getting more and more popular as they go around. I have really been looking forward to this concert because I've not seen them before. I haven't been listening to them that long. Uh, I don't know if it was just last year or the year before that I bought my first album of theirs, and I have been buying them since and listening to them. But I've really been looking forward to this concert, like I said, because I've never seen them, and Larkin Poe has kind of helped me get back into my love of blues a little bit. Not that I ever stopped liking it, but to me with blues, because at one point in my life, like in my 20s, I had a year where pretty much that's mostly all I listened to was blues music. And to an extent, I think I burned out on some of the acts. And I'm still not crazy about the whole like 12 bar blues, do, 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 do. And then there's like these long, boring guitar solos. There's not too many of the players that I want to hear do those kind of guitar solos. Occasionally they sound good. Really, the only person I would ever say you play as many long guitar solos as you want is Stevie Ray Vaughan, but I also consider him the greatest blues guitar player of all time. That's just my opinion. So, anyway, like I said, Larkin Poe kind of helped me kind of get back into some blues again, and the fact that like I'm back into vinyl, that stuff sounds really good on vinyl. So it led me to like Samantha Fish and rediscovering like people like Eric Gales and Kenny Wayne Shepherd, who I hadn't really thought about forever. So I kind of got back into that. I want to see both those guys, I will be seeing Samantha Fish, but I definitely want to see Eric Gales and Kenny Wayne Shepherd. So anyway, excited for this show because it's always exciting somebody you haven't seen. Not that I love seeing artists that I have seen a million times too. So don't get me wrong there. But anyway, so I was excited for this show. It was finally coming up, and it's like all these things happened this week. I got sick this week. I was pretty sick for a couple days. I was getting more and more concerned as I got closer to the show date that, man, hopefully I start feeling better. I don't want to miss this concert, and I don't also want to go there and feel sick. But I felt pretty good by yesterday, so, that was all set to go. So I got home from work, really good time. I'm showered up real fast, getting ready to go. I look at my phone to check my bank account just to be sure on something there, and all of a sudden I see this big charge on there for like over $1,300, and I'm like, what the hell is this? Well, somebody had hacked into my checking account and charged a couple of tickets some tickets to Walt Disney World on my account. Naturally, that took my checking account way down, and I had to call the bank. I had to go to the bank and fill out a dispute form, all this other crap. I had to get some other money to put back in there to cover it. I had to stop that. Just a mess. It took me a lot of time, so I was very late getting on the road. Basically, by the time I left town to head down to Columbus to see this show, I had already planned on being there in that time. I thought, I was going to go down. I was meeting a good friend of mine down there to see the concert. Our plan was to have a beer or two before the show, eat somewhere cool. No, it was basically, plus now I'm hitting heavier traffic. I'm on my way down to Columbus, and I'm getting a hold of him saying, "Hey man, I'm running late." So he's going to get me a sandwich, and I'll just eat it, and we'll go into the show. So it's that kind of thing. Get down to Columbus, and well, guess what? It is homecoming weekend for the Ohio State Buckeyes, which, they're playing Maryland, so they killed Maryland. That's not any shock. But so I go down there and get stopped by a cop, getting close to High Street, which is where the venue is. And oh, here comes a parade. There's a parade that's going to happen right in front of you. Oh, great. Because I'm already running late. So I took a different route, got back onto High Street. It took me forever. The traffic was so busy right about that time. Anyway, gulped down my sandwich, get in line. Doors hadn't opened yet. And honestly, there was not that big of a line. So I didn't really have to worry that much. Doors open. Now, this was one of those shows where you had to have your vaccination card and your ID to get in. No problem. Got my vaccination card. I brought a mask with me if you had to wear it there. You didn't have to wear it in. I wore it at times. At times I didn't. Just depends on, where I was. Not going to stop me from seeing a show. All right. I got to go to concerts. I got to see live music. So anyway, get in. We find a spot. This is at the Newport Music Hall, which used to be called the Agora way back. And it's an old theater type thing. It's all pretty much standing room except for very limited seating. We found a spot. There's like the floor, and then there's just like a few steps up. That's just another level, like 3 feet up or whatever. We got right there, right by this railing, by the steps. So the railing's in front of us. Yeah, we could have got right down front if we probably wanted to, but then we would have been standing with everybody, and you might have had to be doing this kind of stuff if somebody got in front of you. Here, nobody could get in front of us. We could see over. Perfect viewing. Great spot to be. Opening act came on. Normally, I'm at a stage in my life where I don't give a shit about opening acts if I don't know them. Normally they're just in my way. I don't even want to bother, especially if they're local bands. I hate that. I know, oh, you got to give these bands a chance and stuff. I'm in my 50s. I've given all kinds of bands chances, okay? I'm there to see the headliner. Now, this was not a local act. This was a national act, but it's somebody I'd never heard of. But it was Tyler Bryant. So I see his setup, man. He's just got, a guitar stand and a kick drum out there, a small bass drum. So I'm thinking, oh, okay, so this guy is probably going to be playing solo, and, he's going to occasionally kick the bass. I just knocked the light out as I did that. What the hell? Anyway, and that's what he did. So he came out, he had a resonator guitar he was playing, and he would occasionally play the kick drum while he was playing, and I liked it. I really liked him, and that's not, that's a little unusual for me now to really get into an opening act because I just want to see the main band. But this guy was really good, really impressed me. He normally has a full band, but it was kind of a last minute thing. Well, it turns out he's actually married to Rebecca of Larkin and Poe. So he announced that. I didn't know that beforehand. I didn't know who he was. I hadn't paid attention to anything. But really good. I really liked his show. Super impressed with him. It was not a matter of me watching him saying, "Oh, okay, all right, come on, let's get off the stage." Wasn't like that at all. I enjoyed his show, so props to Tyler Bryant. Good, solid blues performer. Rock, and he had one song, slower song, it almost sounded like a country song that was actually pretty cool. So anyway, opening act was good, and then not too long in between, all of a sudden the lights start going, and of all songs, The Runaways, Cherry Bomb is playing over the speakers, and the lights are kind of choom 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 going like this, and it's all of a sudden the band comes out. So that was really cool. I'm a big Runaways fan, you know. I mean, I love Joan Jett and all the girls there in the band. So anyway, they come on. They open up with "She's a Self-Made Man," which one of my all-time favorite Larkin Poe songs. Uh, Sounded great. Just a very enthusiastic band. I cannot remember uh, the drummer and the bass player's name, the rhythm section, but they were really good. Really liked the drummer. He played what he needed to play, didn't play what he didn't need to play, if that makes sense. I think it does to most people. Very solid. Rebecca and Megan themselves, God, so talented. You know, just Rebecca does the singing and plays guitar, and Megan plays slap steel slide guitar. You know, the kind that they hold up like this and play. Wow, she's fantastic. I put up a video of her playing one of the songs where she had a solo in there. I took a couple of videos of it. I don't normally film too much at concerts. I don't want to take away from the experience. But see, they did. I can't remember all the songs off the top of my head, but they did "She's a Self-Made Man," "Trouble in Mind," "Bleach Blonde," "Bottle Blues." That's a good one. "Holy Ghost Fire." And then they do other people's songs. "Who Do You Love?" They did two by Sunhouse. They did "Preaching Blues" and John the Revelator. That was great. Yeah, I almost forgot that one. I love that. It's one of my favorite Sunhouse songs. I love Sunhouse. Thank you, Aaron. Aaron Mutha Alamir sent me that album. It means a lot to me. I love that album. So anyway, they did those, and they closed the show with a Robert Johnson song, "Come On in My Kitchen," which when they did that, they all came out and they were just kind of standing there playing. The drummer just had like a snare drum that he was playing, and Tyler came back out and played with him on that song. So, God, I love Robert Johnson. So that was great. This band, I'll tell you what, man, if you are into blues or blues rock, I mean, it's a rocking show too. Okay. Don't think it's just like old time blues or something like that. They do really good versions of blues songs. I mean, right now, I tell you, I bought that. I don't know how many years ago it was now, but Eric Clapton put out that Robert Johnson tribute album, which I liked, but I would take Larkin and Poe doing their versions of Robert Johnson songs over Eric Clapton at this point, any day. So I highly recommend seeing them. To me, it's the type of music, the type of show that, you don't even need to know any of the songs, and you're going to enjoy it. Man, I really can't say enough about how good they sounded, how talented this band is. I just loved it. I really did. I was, my buddy that was with me, he really liked it too. He didn't have any of their albums. He bought one there at the show. As you can see, I got this cool shirt while I was there. But I highly recommend seeing them. I feel like even if you're not a blues fan, I think you would enjoy them in concert. They're just really good. A lot of energy to them. They're just fun. Just a fun band. And so I really liked it. Just another great show that I was able to see this year. Got a few more left. I love seeing live music. I know a lot of you do out there too. So if you haven't seen Larkin Poe, I recommend seeing them. If you have, maybe leave some comments. Leave some comments anyway, regardless. But thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it. I'm Gary. This is Physical Format Rock and Roll. Till the next time, my friends, I will see you down the road.